Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura Bakewell and here we bake things pretty well. Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe that's not exactly mine. I was just scrolling through Facebook the other day and I saw a recipe come up from a creator called Yeast Mode. And it's just kind of like a chocolate cookie, like a crinkle cookie with some ganache in the middle. They look really good, so it's like, why don't we try doing those? The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix our cookie dough together. So we're going to take all of our wet ingredients. So it's 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then it is 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. And then it is 1 cup of granulated sugar. I'm going to go ahead and whisk all these together until combined. Alright, and once your ingredients are combined, we're going to go ahead and add our dry ingredients. Inside of this bowl, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then I have a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, then I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we are going to sift all of that into this bowl. Nice and easy. Make sure you have no lumps. There we go. Set that to the side and we'll whisk this all together. You're just whisking it until combined. You're not trying to make anything crazy happen with it. Like, you don't want anything to get fluffy. It's just until the ingredients are combined. Try to get all that off of the whisk. And if it does get too thick for you, you can just use a spatula to mix it together. I just used the whisk at the beginning, so I might as well just keep using it. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to scrape down the sides. And it is going to be kind of thick. Kind of like a brownie batter type of texture. There we go. Alright, so now we're just going to put some plastic wrap over the bowl. And then we're just going to let this sit for all those flavors to kind of meld together. And for that dough to just stiffen a little bit. We're going to let this sit. You can either put it into the fridge for about 2 hours, or you can put it into the freezer for 30 minutes. Now, for the sake of trying to save time, we're going to put it into the freezer. So, pop this into the freezer. Now, while that's sitting in the freezer, I do have my cupcake liners already ready inside the cupcake pan. You don't have to spray these or anything like that because of the cupcake liners. It should come off unless you don't have nonstick. If you don't have a nonstick pan, make sure you spray it so that they'll come out easily. So I'm going to set this to the side. Alright, so while our cookies are inside the freezer, stiffening up, we're going to go ahead and make our ganache filling. So for that, you want to get a saucepan, and inside the saucepan, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. We have a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and we have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. You're just going to go ahead and pour that right in there. And I like to whisk my dry ingredients just to make sure everything is combined well. And if you are worried about your cornstarch possibly having a bunch of lumps, you can sift it. If you're not worried about it, then don't worry about it. Now to this, I'm going to add 1 cup of whole milk. You can add any type of milk that you want, or you can also add water if you choose to not use milk. Either way, it'll work perfectly fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start whisking this over the stove at low heat. I'm gonna keep whisking this until all of the cocoa powder is combined into that milk. So I'm gonna keep stirring this until that cocoa powder is completely dissolved. So it's completely dissolved now. And we're gonna let this sit on low heat until it becomes thick and smooth. So it'll be like nice darker chocolate color than this. And it'll be thick and smooth, and it'll be easy to pipe if we want to pipe it. All right, so once your ganache has thickened, we can take it off the heat. So it has like the bubbles that are really thick. We're gonna go ahead and take this off the heat and let it cool. And as it cools, it will thicken even more. So we'll just put this to the side while we are waiting for our cookie dough to finish. All right, so our dough has been chilling in the freezer for 30 minutes, or if you put it in the fridge for 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my plastic wrap off. And before I start scooping these, you wanna go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. All right, so I'm just going to scoop these to a well-rounded scoop. And you want there to be at least 12. So if you wanted to go ahead and scoop these and make sure they're all even, you can do that before you start rolling them inside of your powdered sugar. I'm just going to take a couple at a time. Put them inside that powdered sugar and then just roll them around. And then you want it nice and evenly coated, and you're just going to go ahead and place that right in to your cupcake liner. Now, if you were concerned about these not being completely even, you can always weigh them. So by weight, it should be about 45 grams each cookie. And this dough should make 12 cookies. If you are worried about like the dough and stuff sticking onto your hands, you can always like spray your hands with some baking spray. It'll keep the dough from not sticking to your hands before you put it into the powdered sugar. I'm not really that concerned about it because you just wash your hands, it's fine. All right, so let's go ahead and clean up this bowl. All right, so now that our hands are nice and clean, you can take, you can really take any type of, all right, so now that our hands are clean, I'm just going to take a 1 teaspoon measurement, and I'm just going to press right in the middle of my dough balls, just to help give that indentation while they rise, so that I can put the ganache in there. And that powdered sugar really helps the cookie dough not stick to your teaspoon. Right. So now they're all indented. Our oven is almost up to temp, and whenever your oven is ready, we're going to put these in at 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to start it at 12 and see how much I need to add after that. But these are going to rise significantly, and then I will show you what to do with them after they're done. All right, so once your crinkle cookies come out of the oven, we're going to go ahead and use that teaspoon again and just make a nice indentation in the middle while it's still warm. And you do that for all the cookies. Nice indentation. And this will give you plenty of space for all of that ganache. Just like that. And now I'm just going to let these sit here and cool. And then once they're cool, we'll fill it with ganache. Alright, now that these have cooled down a bit, I'm going to go ahead and start putting my ganache in. If you want to use a pastry bag to put this in much easier, you can do that. To each their own. I'm just going to scoop it with just a regular tablespoon. Just going to scoop it right in. You should have enough ganache for all 12 of these. I have a little bit left over I can put into some of these first ones that I didn't fill up completely. Alright. Alright, and there you have it. You can let that ganache settle for a little bit. Get a nice little bit of like a crust on top. But there you go. Beautiful. I'm gonna eat one. Why not? Oh my god, it's amazing. And see how beautiful that inside looks right in the middle. So delicious. Very messy with the powdered sugar, but it's the right kind of messy. And there you have it, guys. Delicious chocolate lava Crinkles. Perfect. I will make sure to list the person that I saw this from down below. I will also put their recipe down below. Hopefully it doesn't get me in any trouble. But you should go check out their, I know they have a YouTube channel, but I found this on Facebook. But this recipe, also the video for it, is on YouTube as well. So I will link them down below so that you can go give them some love as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!